cannot break 100, in this video I'm gonna show you 5 simple steps that are going to help you improve your game, figure out what you have been doing wrong, and by the end, you will know how to break 100. I've been playing golf for more than 20 years, and these are one of my best advices that I can give to somebody who's been struggling to break 100. But first, we have to start from the beginning. Let's move on to the step number 1. Step number 1, know your game. You have to know your weaknesses and your strengths in your golf game. For most of beginners and for most of amateurs, they love to spend too much time on the long game. And when you spend too much time on the long game, you just start overthinking. You're not even improving, you're just there because it's fun. It's fun to hit the ball. But if you want to improve and if you want to get to a certain level, so step by step by step, you have to spend much more time on the short game. I understand long game is really freaking important, but for somebody who's a beginner and trying to break 100, this is very beginner level. You have to know, or you at least have to understand every part of the game. If you're gonna spend 80% on a long game, 20% on a short game, where you're pitching, chipping, putting, bunker game, all of that is going to be so off that even if you get on a par 4 with the third towards the green, you're gonna end up with a triple, double, or a quadruple. That's because you're gonna chip 2, you're gonna chunk 1, you're gonna top 1, then you're gonna make 3 putts, and that's just the reality of golf. Rather spend 30% less on the long game, which means from 80% go down to 50% and work more on your short game, putting and chipping. I'm not saying you have to spend 5 hours putting like the professionals do, or amateurs who are trying to improve, but just spending that little time to understand how the motion of the putting works, how the chipping works. And chipping is really important because when you chip, this is pretty much long game is an extension from chipping, right? You go chip, you go to like a quarter of the swing, and then if you go to a long game, then essentially when you go to a full swing, you just extend that swing. So it's really good to understand and to get the feel how to chip with a shorter swing, because once you realize that, it's gonna help you eventually on your long game. So pretty much working on your short game is gonna give you much more advantage than just working on your long game. But really try to spend more time on your putting and chipping, try to figure out how the motion works, how that works, and then essentially once you're gonna start practicing a little bit more of your short game, you're gonna see it's going to be much easier for you to break 100 than if you just practice your long game. Now let's move on to the step 2. Build rock solid fundamentals. I've said this in my previous video as well. I cannot stress enough, for beginners, even for professionals, fundamentals are the crucial thing. But for the beginners who are starting to learn the game, who are starting to learn, how to move, how the motions work in our swing, you have to understand the fundamentals first. I think this is a big problem in golf community these days, is everybody's just trying to swing it hard. Everybody's just trying to, figure out something they watched on the YouTube, and they're trying to perform the swing that, let's say, Bryson or somebody else showed. But you have to work on basics. Basics are literally, that's what they're called, the fundamentals. Right? They're gonna give you the best results and the fastest results if you just work on them. Periodically. So for beginner who's, as we said before, 80% trying to work on the long game, if you spend that 30% less and just focus pretty much 30% of your time in a long game on fundamentals and trying to figure out your grip, your posture, your position, your weight distribution, all of those things will essentially gonna get your game to a much higher level. So if it's hard for you to understand the fundamentals, grab a coach, grab a good amateurs who understand fundamentals, and then you should really focus on fundamentals. And I'm not saying this just for the long game, for putting, for chipping, for bunker. I think you have to experiment with the whole game. Golf is so much fun once you realize the whole package and the whole map that you put inside of one body, right? Golf is not just made of irons and drivers. You got pitching, as I said, you got chipping, you got flop shots, you got bunker shots, you can shape the ball, you got putting, short putts, long putts. There's so many other aspects of golf that I think you can enjoy just by simply changing your trajectory of where you go. But really focus on fundamentals. It's going to give you much faster progress than if you focus on certain weird stats or certain thing in your swing. So focus on fundamentals. Now let's move on. Step number 3, manage expectations. I think this is such a fun topic, especially for beginners and for amateurs who think they play like Tiger Woods, they want to play like Tiger Woods, right? They just think they're gonna hit every shot straight, every shot, to the flag, and they miss the shot a little bit and they get all discouraged, their negative aura comes out, and you're like, man, why did I miss a shot? Like, you have been playing for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 years. right? You're not gonna perfect your swing if you're not on the golf course every day or like 5 times a week really trying to perfect your swing. Don't worry about missed shots. You know, golf is not about, you know, missing shots or hitting shots. It's about playing smart. And once you can control your mind and you know, seeing your game as a reality, if you can't break 100, why would you even look down on yourself when you miss a shot? That's just normal. That's just reality. That's nature. It's normal that you're gonna miss a shot. Even for me, sometimes, you know, when I miss a shot, I should not be discouraged. I should be, okay, I missed a shot. Wow, I'm not a robot, right? Let's go play another hole. And this is gonna help your mental to really try to focus on 18 holes, because, you know, as a beginner, you're gonna miss more and more shots. So you have to understand where is your line of actually getting angry at, you know, when you miss some shots, or when you can actually say, okay, I missed a shot, I'm a beginner, that's fine. We're gonna try to make another one. So lower your expectations down and see where you actually are, and then try go from there. I think it's really important to not get angry at every shot you miss. Just try to enjoy the process. Try to be patient in golf, and it's gonna get you a lot faster when it comes to the progress ladder than if you essentially have your expectations too high. Step number 4, think before you swing. Think before you swing, okay? You got this statement down. This is really important. For a lot of beginners, they think that, oh, you know, my shots are not good enough, so I'm not gonna pick a target, I'm not gonna pick the right club. And this is where a lot of beginners, because especially amateurs, when they don't understand the course management and the pre-shot routine, they lose so many shots when it comes to, you know, breaking their desired score. Is it 80, 70, 90, 100? It's because when you are on the course, every shot and every decision matters, okay? Of course, when you're amateurs, when you're trying to break 190, you're gonna have more missed shots. But preparing yourself to a missed shot, you can actually get yourself 5 to 10 shots very easily. I think this is probably gonna be the biggest one out of them all, to actually get your scores lower than trying to break 100, right? All of these steps are kind of going the same path and are gonna connect itself, but this one is so freaking important. Think before you swing. I'm gonna give you a 6-second rule that every time that you're on the course and for every shot you have to do. Pick your target, pick your club, and I'm not saying pick your target like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play, let's say, on a bunker. You have to think a little bit more strategically. If you got bunker on the right and you get space on the left, just think for 2 seconds. Where do I not want to miss? Bunker. Okay, let's aim left. Don't try to make some hero shot on the course, because most likely what's gonna happen, you're gonna block and it's gonna go either in bunker or you're gonna push or pull the ball, right? Just try to find a safe spot and try to play a safe golf. This is 3 seconds, pick a target. Really, really understand where your safe zone is. Second of all, pick the right club. For most of golfers and for most of amateurs, they pick the club too less. They think they're gonna hit like, let's say 9-iron, 150 yards, and they get 30-meter shorts. Oh yeah, I hit a bad shot, even though they hit a good shot. So actually try to learn what your true distance is on the clubs. If your 9-iron goes 100 meters, sure, play that, right? If your friends can hit the ball like 130 yards, don't try to replicate that. Just try to focus on your swing and on your game. Okay, if you hit the 9-iron 120 meters or 100 meters, play that number, okay? And really try to figure out, if you're always short, try to pick a club more. If you're always long, try to pick a club less. I know this might sound very obvious, but trust me, for most of golfers and for most of guys who are, you know, playing golf, these are 2 things that they definitely do not do. And then we got the third tip. Commit to your shot. You have to commit to your shot. Every time that you're on a shot, even if you think it's gonna go too long or too less, just commit. Commit. Just always make a follow through and backswing and finish. This is what you have to do every time. Commit to your shot. Commit. If there's water on the right side, pick your left side. As we said, pick your target zone, pick your, you know, a club more, so you can go over the water if you actually miss it, and then commit to the shot. Don't be afraid. The faster you're gonna learn to commit to your shot, the easier it's going to be for you to actually, you know, perform much better on the golf course. Step number 5, slow down your swing. For so many amateurs and for so many golfers, they try to hit the ball so freaking far. And for a beginner who you don't have as much practice and as much sequencing and as much motion knowledge, to get yourself in a good state of motion to hit the ball straight, you have to lower your swing speed down. Because when you lower your swing speed down, essentially you're going to get that consistency the tempo, and the sequence that you can actually control your body. So if you can lower your ego and say, okay, I cannot hit the ball 120 with my, let's say, pitching wedge, I'm gonna hit it 100, but I'm gonna be straight. Trust me, if you do that, at the end, you're gonna see results. If you played 112, you're most likely gonna very quickly go to like 105. There's like 6, 7, 8 shots immediately down, because you're going to be more straighter, and then from there your mental game is going to be much stronger. You're going to feel more confident, and once you feel more confident, you're going to play better scores, right? So in golf, it's like the better our swing performs, the better we are mentally, and the more good shots that we do, and the less expectations that we have, at the end, the better the result is going to be, right? Because we're not going to be overwhelmed by everything, especially as an amateur who try to figure out 7,000 different swings. You're not going to be in a flow state of motion, right? So you have to figure out where your tempo is, really try to figure out that perfect zone that will essentially help your swing, you know, sequence naturally so you can get that desired shot. And I'm gonna link my tempo video up there. You can check it out. It's a really good video. I think it's like 15 or 20 minutes. But if you're somebody who's struggling with tempo, you should definitely check that video out. It's gonna be link up there. So if you implement all of these 5 steps, I am giving you 95% assurance that you're gonna break 100 next time you're gonna play in the course. But you really have to commit on all of this, right? Try to spend some time, and then when you actually go on a golf course, this is one more tip. When you go to the golf course, when you are on the golf course, you have to use your energy, your brain, and everything on 110%. If you're gonna be there and not, you know, thinking where you're gonna play, how you're gonna play, and really not be in the zone, in the game, you're not gonna break 100. Simple as it is. You have to use every ounce and every power, every inch of your brain and of your swing and of your golf game that you can do to break either 110, 100, 90, 80, 70, okay? Just few shots on the golf course can ruin your game. So prepare for that, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like and subscribe, and we're gonna see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.